Conference. Kevin Brady of LGBT plus Labour and a councillor in Tower Hamlets. Thank you. Since 1975, LGBT plus Labour has campaigned and fought within our party for the rights of LGBT plus people. All LGBT plus people. The world around us, the progress we've made in that time would have been unimaginable to me when I was a scared, bullied gay kid growing up in the 80s and the early 90s. But Conference, the idea that progress is an unstoppable force, never to be curtailed, the idea that we can't start to slip backwards is dangerous and untrue. Hate crime is rising in the UK. 1 in 5 people still say they would be uncomfortable having gay neighbours. That rises to 1 in 4 for a trans neighbour. A majority of LGBT plus people don't feel comfortable holding their partner's hand in public. And just a few weeks ago, in my borough of Tower Hamlets, Roy Kankanamalaji was murdered in a suspected homophobic attack. Conference, the fight for basic human rights for LGBT plus people is very much a live issue. Millions of us downloaded the hit show It's a Shin, showing the HIV pandemic as it was. It's our job in the Labour Party to show them the pandemic as it could be, ended. Only Labour will make it the priority it needs to be. At Conference, I was so pleased to hear our Shadow Secretary of State, Annalise Dodds, acknowledge in her speech that trans rights are human rights and commit to a reform of the Gender Recognition Act. Because, Conference, the reality is that the language and style of attack being used over and over against trans people, a minority made up of some of the most marginalised and discriminated against people in our society, is so reminiscent of that used against gay people in the past. That should send shivers down the spines of everyone in our party of equality. The Labour Party did not stand on the sidelines when cis gay men like me needed you. It did not stand on the sidelines when our lesbian sisters needed you. Conference, I ask all of you to not stand on the sidelines when the whole LGBT plus community needs you. Stand with our trans brothers and sisters. Stand with our non-binary members. Pass the NHS and LGBT plus motions, and let's put Labour in its rightful place. A party, a government that looks out for each other, that stands up for all those who need us. Thank you, Conference.